I'm your host, Kimla Lowe, and I'm an astrologer, Feng Shui practitioner, also psychic medium. And I also do resonance healing as well. We had a little bit of a miscommunication or a rescheduling had to happen. So, in the beginning, we were going to have Mr. Walter Zajak, and he was going to come in and talk about his book. Um, they came, Deja Vu, Beyond Deja Vu. It's a great book, you guys. And we were going to talk about deja vu because I have got some great stories on my own. But he had a lovely life story. We are going to reschedule, and I just don't want to. I don't want to miss the chance of really saying how wonderful the book was, and it's very. It really is a stunner at the end. So make sure that you read the whole thing. So anyway, we'll get him back again. We'll reschedule with him. And in the meantime, we are going to celebrate the Chinese New Year and we are going to have so much fun. So, with that in mind, we are at January 18th. And what we have is we have something wonderful going on today, and that is Mercury is going direct. Mercury has been retrograde since December 29th of 2022. And so, we started out the first of the year a little slow. So now we are going to start catching up. And as soon as Mercury gets up to speed, things are really going to start cooking because now Mars is direct. And what is really, really fun right now is on Friday, the sun is going into Aquarius. And then we've got this beautiful new moon in Aquarius at 2 degrees. So, yeah. So, again, everybody who is an Aquarian is definitely going to be getting a lot of messages and a lot of energy. A lot of things are going to be highlighted for Aquarians. And we're going to talk about that because I have a lot of Aquarian clients, to tell you the truth. And yeah, so you may have the same questions that they are having as well. What we want to talk about is that Sunday, January 22nd, we have the year of the water rabbit coming in. And some of you can see my little bunny hanging out right there. He's so cute. Anyway, we've got Venus is going to be conjuncting Saturn. So on this particular day, you may want to, get a bunch of stuff done, but you have to take care. You have to really take care of business on that particular day. You may want to do something with your beloved. You may want to, spend some time with them. You may want to do something you love to do. But the universe is saying, hey, you know what? You need to take care of business. And so on Sunday, we need to take care of business so that once we get it finished, yes, we can go and catch the football games or the tennis open or whatever, your little heart desires. But you've got to take care of business first. Also on Sunday, not only do we have this new energy, and I have to tell you, it is so refreshing to come into 2023 with the year of the rabbit versus this very ferocious year of the tiger that we all have been surviving. And that's exactly right. We've all been surviving. So, with the promise of the rabbit who is docile and very witty and peaceful, wants to bring harmony to everyone, this particular year is going to also have some challenges as well. It's going to be, I say, more organized, and you can manifest things quicker after August. of 2023, because we're just kind of planting our feet now. We're just kind of expanding now. We're feeling that Aquarian energy. We're kind of getting that little brief trailer that I was talking about in the last show. And we're going to be seeing what's ahead of us as far as getting into Aquarian energy. And that's your sun sign, your rising sign, or your moon sign. So if you don't know your chart, you can always go to my website, kimlalowe.com, and I would be happy to do your chart for free. And then if you would like to book some time with me so that I can introduce it to you and go over it with you so that you understand it, it can really be the biggest tool, the biggest map, the biggest GPS that you have ever laid your hands on for life. And I highly recommend it. And we make it fun. And we also have something happening, though, on Sunday that I have to tell you. Uranus is going direct. Now, Uranus has been retrograde since August 24th of 2022. That's a long time. Uranus is one of these planets that has such unstable energy with it. When it starts to go retrograde, it starts kind of bouncing off inwardly inside of us. And, you'll be rebelling against one thing one day and, totally um, marching and being behind another particular cause the next day. They are very independent, they're very rebellious, they can be very surprising, they can be very, I want to say, mentally consumed, not really emotionally that much. And you will know that um, when you hear galactics described, you will hear them in a way that I always think, wow, they're talking about an Aquarian zodiac person, because they're very futuristic. They really don't want to be reminded of the past. They just want to look forward. They want to create win-win situations um, through diplomacy, but yet they are the ones that gather humanity together and stand behind them. And what's good for the group is going to be good for everyone. But not just that, when they describe aliens, let's say, or galactic travelers or people, or all of the different races that they are out there, when they reach a very high frequency, which a lot of the Palladians, um, a lot of the Syrian people, when they reach a specific frequency, they don't have to carry the physical body anymore. And a lot of these particular participants in the Galactic Federation, um, they do not carry emotion. And that's one of the wonderful things about humanity, is that we do process our expression, our creativity, um, and our mental thoughts hooked up into emotion through the heart. Uh, this is something that they would like to experiment with. However, they have to be very, very careful, because they have not felt emotion in a very, very long time. They're very removed. They observe, they weigh things out. And, a lot of times when we are on planet Earth, we get a little rowdy, right? And so Aquarians, on the other hand, they can get rowdy, but they're usually pretty reserved, and they usually choose to display their emotions very thought out and planned. It's not something that feels comfortable for them. You will find a lot of galactic energy running through this next particular 2 weeks, 3 weeks of time, as we are gaining in strength with Aquarian energy coming into our particular DNA. And that's something that's huge because Uranus rules Aquarius. So with Uranus going direct after being retrograde for so long, you're going to see a lot of atmosphere that becomes very unstable. This could be storms, this could be volcanic, this could even be accidents that you're involved in. This could be just something like, oh, I slipped on a rug, or I, twisted my ankle on my heel, or um, you know, I I was just carrying the laundry. Anything that you do every single day, you're just, chopping up some lettuce and there is a huge gash in your hand. I mean, anything. It's just a slip of the wrist like that. Hi, Sheila. How are you? Oh my gosh. There we go. Whoop, whoop. Um, Thanks so much for coming in tonight. So, what's going on here is that we've got an overall picture and a summary. Is we have got this direct motion now. We've got Mars that just turned direct, Mercury, now Uranus, and now we've got this new particular energy, the water rabbit. Now, this is the last year of period 8 in Feng Shui. And this particular year is very, very important. It leads up to period 9. So, this particular year is said to be a lot quieter than last year, but yet intense just the same. So, as we get into the rabbit, and the rabbit they like to run, they like to hide, they like to start things, and perhaps they like to go from place to place. Bunnies are social, and they're very loyal too. Bunnies are very wise. They have a great sense of humor. They are, I want to say they kind of, they kind of leave the room if there's a lot of gossip going on, or there's a lot of plotting, or someone's trying to manipulate them. They hop away. They're not into that at all. So if you're going to do anything on the social scene, you want to remain popular this year. There's just no other way about it. You want to remain reserved, popular. You want to socialize, yet you don't want to be a bulldozer and really rock the boat here. But we've got so many different things at once, so it's kind of neat. Now, what we've got going on in the Bazi chart. The Bazi chart is the astrology chart, the Chinese astrology chart for the whole year. So, what we have in this particular chart is we have got elements. We have got in Feng Shui, let me just kind of pull that up. In Feng Shui, we've got wood, we've got water, we've got fire, we've got earth, and we've got metal. And each particular element is it rules it rules a part of the chart, and it rules a part of your life. So in this particular year, we've got water. We've got a lot of water because it's the water rabbit, right? We've got a lot of water, and we have got a lot of wood. We've got a lot of water, we've got a lot of wood. So green is actually the color of choice this year. So if you like green, it's going to be really the it color. And with the earth missing, and with the fire missing, and metal, we've got a little fire, but not a whole lot of fire. But the metal is completely missing. What does that mean? Well, that means that literally what we've got is we've got a lot of opportunity. We've got everybody that wants to create. We have got wonderful flow starting to happen with the water. The water supports the wood element. However, all of this opportunity and all of this wealth that wants to be created, we do not have the resources or the leadership in order for this to come about. So, oh, hi. There's Mr. Bill and there's Mr. Chad. I hope you're doing well tonight. So, what we want to do is we want to really compensate for that missing metal. The missing metal is the administrative piece. This leads me to think that there will be a break in the chain of any type of hierarchy. It will bring, and it's basically male. So it seems to me that anyone who is the head of governments, the head of corporations, it could be the head of, I want to say somebody who has really carried the money, the billionaire kind of money. They may be either incapable of doing their job, or perhaps they are going to be overruled or ousted, or perhaps there will be something standing in the way of them getting reelected. There's going to be people at the top who have either been our leaders or who have organized the financial industry. These kinds of people are really going to be, I want to say, scarce. And so when we don't have leadership, it's very difficult to gather up the group and really head in a good direction towards manifestation. So what happens is everybody starts rebelling and creating what I call chaos. And because of this Aquarian energy that is so rebellious, so independent, I would not be surprised if we really have a lot of outbreaks this particular summer with protesting. There's a lot of highlighting the year of the water. So it would not surprise me if there was some type of a manipulation happening with the water that causes this particular chaos. What's in our water? What's going on with let's just say connecting pipes to get from one state to another? What's happening with our water resources? Our resources are at a loss. We could dry up some water, or it could be so much water, like the Mississippi runs its banks and things like that. Also with wood, when we've got wood in a huge amount, of wood in the chart, there is a constant push to produce new things. And it's very hard because we're moving into this huge space of new technology. It's going to be coming in like gangbusters. But if we don't have the leadership, if we don't have someone who is at the helm, a CEO, a president, someone like that, what is going to happen? It's just going to run amok, and it's going to be what I call locked in a stalemate. Okay. So there's a lot of this kind of, we want to push, we want to journey, we want to explore into space, we want to do all of these things, but it just seems to me that there's going to be a little bit of a stalling in this particular year. Next year, it's just going to go woo, and everything is going to be a lot different especially as far as our leadership goes, a lot different. So to say that, next our fall season is going to be very, very interesting. And we're going to be kind of looking at that because people need to have metal element around them. And metal is anything that obviously is metal, brass, silver, gold. Wear metal, but when you wear metal on earrings or rings, make sure you have a gemstone inside of that. That gemstone is from the earth. So what are we doing? We're hooking up the missing element of metal, and we are grabbing the earth and putting it in the chart as well. So we have got a lot of crystals are great to have around you, but the metal is the one that I feel is going to be missed the most. The fire is going to be coming. We know that the fire is going to be coming next particular year when we go off into period 9. That's a 20-year cycle. And I remember when we went into period 8 20 years ago, and I was so excited because those were the directions of my personal best directions. And that's why I built a house exactly, and my master, Lillian, too, and Jennifer, they helped me so much on preparing my floor plan that I built. Now, in this particular new house that I'm building is exactly in my best direction. So it's the last year of period 8. So if you are interested in knowing your best directions, you can always book a session with me and we'll go through your feng shui, and I'll set you up what directions you should be facing, what you should be avoiding, the things that your perfect colors that you should be working with, all of these great things. So what's going on with the heart of the matter in 2023, the year of the rabbit? Well, I'm going to tell you. The very center of all of our homes is going to carry the romance star. How cool is that? So if you have been looking, if you are ready to settle down, if you have gone through some type of a trauma with a relationship, this is the time to heal. This is the time that couples they push the restart button again and they go off and have a second honeymoon, renew their vows, and it's going to be very, very romantic. So if you're into romance novels or films, or if you are a producer or starring in one, this is the time. This is going to be your year. Romance is going to be abounding. And so, in the middle of our homes, what we can do, of course, is bring in a lot of elements to do with. I like to use I like to use the rose quartz a lot. So rose quartz to me is the romance crystal. So I like to do that. Also in feng shui, we have two little rose quartz hearts, and they usually go in the southwest. And in this particular year, I like to pair those particular hearts up with the pagoda, and I like to put it in the middle of the house. Also, if I'm doing your feng shui, I will tell you what your animal sign is for the year that you were born and what your secret power animal is. And that way you can display these particular animals around your house to, I want to say, just to bring in the support you may not have had recently, or to smooth out any kind of relationship issues that you've had, maybe at work or maybe, with family members. So that is going to be Fantastic. We also have very good numbers coming in on the north and the south this year. Um, the northwest, we have to be careful of. All right. If your house faces northwest, if you're living in the northwest of the country, you're going to be needing added protection. And added protection can come in 3 different ways. Um, I like to use the metal element because, of course, it's missing this year, but also it rules the Northwest. And the father image is it's very vulnerable. Um, Also, spirituality, starting relationships without having matching values, and also similar spiritual views. Spirituality is going to be missing on a lot of notes. It's going to come under, I want to say, fire. And I want to say that people are going to be reverting back to before Christianity. They're going to be tracing back um, to the roots of paganism. You're going to find out more and more about that. You're going to be learning about um, how spiritual planet Earth really is, and how the spirit and the spiritual nature is held in every single living thing. You're going to hear about a lot of Indian tribes here in the States and how they handled their spirituality. You're going to hear a lot about, um, since the rabbit is so friendly and so social amongst the other animals, why do we have animal years anyway for Chinese astrology? Well, the Master Buddha came in and let out a call for 12 animals to come in. And um, it was just, those are the animals that showed up for him. It was kind of like Noah calling in the ark. If you're a Christian, you've heard of that, right? 2 by 2, they went up, and they were saved from the great flood. Well, that's exactly what the Master Buddha did. Okay, so um, the 12 animals that we have, there is one for every year, and there's also one for every month. And so it's one of those things that it runs in cycles. So every 12 years, we have a new cycle beginning. I hope this isn't too complicated for you, but what's different about these particular cycles is that every year the beginning of the Chinese New Year falls on a different date because they have 2 calendars. They have the lunar calendar, which is ruled by the moon, and they have the solar calendar, which is ruled by the sun. And that determines the date of when the Chinese New Year begins. So it could be as early as an early spring for this particular year, January 22nd. I have seen it as late in February, like the second week in February. So if you are in that particular vulnerable time of, late January, early February, we have to check your date exactly to see exactly what animal you are, because that's when the whole calendar switches on that. So what do we have? We've got a lot of very calming music in this particular year. Rabbits like to be very calm. They don't like to be nervous. They do not like loud banging noises. Rabbits like also, they like to, of course, they like to procreate. That's why we've got this big romance star in the middle of our houses in our lives. So this is going to be really fun. But if you have, let's talk about that. If you've tried to start a family and it's just hasn't worked for you, hasn't clicked for you, or perhaps you've been going through the treatment to have a family, this is an absolute fabulous year to get pregnant, to also adopt, to bring children into their home. They're very, very lucky. And if you do decide, okay, this is the year for us, we're going to do this in the year of the rabbit. I will tell you that little bunnies in a home bring wealth. They bring kindness. They bring a very long, like a long life to everyone within the home. So they stand for longevity. They also stand for health. They also stand for getting to the truth of the matter. Okay, they're these particular little bunnies that are going to be born this year are going to cherish friendship, going to cherish humanity. So it's very recommended. The year of the tiger is not so much this last year. It's not so much, let's just say, in favor of a year where you bring little tigers in because they grow up to be very fierce and very protective, very warlike. And so it doesn't really it brings in a lot of warrior energy, so disruptive energy. And so this particular year is going to be a fabulous year to start a family or to bring one into your home. So anybody out there, also for marriages are going to be they're going to be outstanding. They're not going to be too lavish. As bunnies they like to eat in little bites, right? They just like to nibble on things and all of that. So we're not going to have the restaurant industry going bonkers. That will happen next year, by the way. If you are into the restaurants and you are doing that, what's really going to shoot up the line here is going to be anything that is vegetarian or vegan, right? Because, bunnies, that's what they like. So anything, if you were thinking of, okay, I'm going to try the vegetarian route, this is the year to do it. It's going to be very good for you. Your body is going to be into it. Sometimes you start out with something like that and you think, oh, I just can't go through with it. I can't, I've got to go get a cheeseburger. It's killing me. This is the year when the universe is really going to support you on that. So that's going to be really something to look at. Also, you're going to find a lot of different restaurants going towards vegan style food or let's just say organic. They're leaving the meat out of a lot of the menus. They're adding a lot of vegetables. And I know my Mr. Bill is like, ooh. I sneak vegetables in on him every once in a while, but yeah. So so that's what's going on there. And and also because we've got a lot of wood, we've got a little bit of fire, and we also have a lot of water. We are going to have a lot of creativity. A lot of film is going to be something that you're going to want to take part in. Photography, writing books, whether it's ebooks, whatever it is, it's going to come back. It's going to be good. A lot of poetry, a lot of songwriting. This is going to be wonderful, okay, for anyone who's creative, like in the creative arts. Dance is going to be very popular. You may even bring back, well, I know Dancing with the Stars is ballroom dancing, but you may really, and Arthur Murray may have a big, huge comeback for partner style romantic ballroom dancing. That could be something that is going to be, it's going to come around and have everybody wanting to do that. So that might be really good too. Also, the green and the blue are going to be really great favored colors. And yeah, they complement each other, of course. But the thing that I wanted to talk about is the industries. So, real estate is, again, an earth industry. It's ruled by the earth element. And the earth and metal are going to be at a loss. So the real estate industry is going to have some ups and downs as well. And metal is going to be your technology. So even though we've got this big Aquarian push to get all of this technology out, we're going to see some blockages. We're going to see some perhaps companies that don't want that out just yet. Free energy and is something to do with a new type of technology, a new electromagnetic type of they're not going to be ready for that yet. That's going to probably come next year. But with this big push for technology, I just want all of you to be able to be the best that you can be and to kind of replace and wear the missing elements so that we have a very balanced and perfect feng shui, whether it's on our bodies or whether it's within our sacred spaces, whatever that is. Now, I've got a special running on my website for everything, the do's, the don'ts, the won'ts. All of those, they're going to be at kimlalowe.com. And I would love to personalize the Year of the Rabbit for you. So I have put it on sale for everybody. So I hope that that's something that entices you to really get into happy feng shui. And also, you can design with feng shui today. You can do it right like that. It's something that is what I call very easy, like a very easy fix. And what do we do? What do we do when we're going into a new year? First thing we do, declutter. That's it. Just declutter, declutter. So what you want to do is you don't want to enhance anything that needs to be organized, or some things need to be weeded out, given away, thrown out, whatever you need to do. You need to do your organizing first. You need to make new space for the new energy that's coming in so that we can fill it up with rabbit energy, some nice, kind, harmonic energy. So, yeah, so we need to do that. And we need to begin by treasuring the things that we have before asking for more. And the things that we have not touched, we have not used, we have not worn. Some of the things that maybe we're saving because it's got a memory or an imprint of a loved one, this could be the time where you can let go of those things and make new space and new rooms for more new energy. Okay, it's so funny because I can only see the comments as they're coming up from the beginning of the show. So I'm going to see if there's any more comments there. But okay. So, but what I would like to do is I would like to show you how let's just say we've got horses, we've got dogs, whatever you are, you can always Google the year of your birth and the month of your birth, and they'll tell you exactly what year animal you are. But for instance, if you wanted to take advantage of this particular romantic frequency that is going to be in the middle of everybody's home, um, you can display bunnies everywhere, everywhere. Even though, we do it for Easter, right? We do it for Easter, but do it for the fact that it is the year of the rabbit. I have been coaching so many people that are shopkeepers, and I've been telling them you better order a lot of rabbits because they're going to run out. They're going to run out, and people are going to want them once they find out that it brings financial wealth into the home. It brings in the love of their life. And it's not just a drive-by romance. It's the real deal. It's longevity, right? So this is kind of the year where if you have not been, with someone for a long time and you're feeling like, okay, I'm ready, this is the year. This is the year. Now, remember, if you're planning a wedding during this particular year, Mercury needs to be going direct, Venus and Mars. Okay, so there's a couple of times when Venus is going to be in retrograde, and that's going to be in August and September. So please check with me if you are having a late summer wedding, or you're booking that now. You want to stay away from those particular weeks where Venus is in retrograde. The worst thing that you can do, especially if you're the bride, is to get married with a Venus retrograde. You're going to change your mind. It's not going to be something that you want to stick with. And it just leads to a very rocky road as your platform, as your foundation, as you're beginning your partnership, for a lifetime. So I'd be happy to work with you on that. Okay. I know weddings are important. Weddings are very, very important. So that's something that I'm excited about and I love to work on as well. If you have any questions, and you want me to answer them, I'm here to do that regarding anything intricate. Now, I had a question about wealth frogs and money frogs, they call them. And money frogs, they have 3 legs. They usually have little red eyes, and they're kind of crouched on a huge pile of coins. Now, these little money frogs, they work. And these little money frogs are really friendly. Everybody says, well, how am I supposed to position my money frogs? And I will tell you, I'll tell you a story. Paula Abdul had a Feng Shui consultant come to her house, and she was trying to revive her career. And so the Feng Shui consultant advised her to get as many money frogs as she could and hide them in her living room. And so what she did is she said, well, is 5 too many? Is 10 not enough? And she came across, I think there were about 10, 8 to 10. And she put them underneath her sofa, her living room, and her sofa. And she said she totally forgot about them because those money frogs are supposed to not be seen. They're supposed to be hidden when you place them. And when you place them turned towards the front door. Well, she started getting offers left and right, and she was able to revive her career for that particular year. And if you would like to get a little bump in your paycheck, or perhaps you want to go in a new direction and you need the money in order to do that, or you need to maybe you need the money to take a class or a course or to get your master's for the next, for the next pay raise. These are very easy to find, unique, fengshui.com or worldoffengshui.com, mega feng shui mall. We've got a lot of different places that will sell you these little money frogs, and they are adorable. And you can activate them as well. And when you put them in, just make sure they're facing your front door so that they are attracting the wealth element towards your front door, because your front door is actually the mouth of the chi. Just like your body, you're feeding your body, and that's your front door. So that's the mouth. Okay. Your windows are your eyes, the windows to your soul. And so make sure that all of your windows, as you go through these different seasons, I was just thinking of this myself. I need to get my windows cleaned. It's a good time, a very good time to get your windows cleaned, your carpets cleaned, get the garage cleaned out, get that basement in order, make sure that the pipes, are working properly. We kind of, get so busy in our day-to-day lives that sometimes the care of the home, really takes a back seat. And before you know it, everything is maybe hasn't been opened in a long time, or it's rusty, or it needs repair, or those kinds of things. And pretty soon it starts showing up in your body as well. Okay. Because as above, so below, as within, so without. And that's exactly how it is. It's the big cross. Um, the cross with the circle around it is a very, very powerful symbol. It was used far, far, far back, even with the American Indians. They have noted that this particular symbol, where it's a circle with a cross in the middle, yeah, the four directions: north, south, east, and west. In this particular year, the east is going to be housing the illness star. So if a lot of people, especially, I want to say especially on, no, that could be on either coast actually, but sometimes on the West Coast, they want the ocean view, so they'll have an east entryway. That really needs to have a huge wooloo, and I've had those on the show before. If you can get a new wooloo, that's WULOU. If you can get a new one for this particular year, I would do that, especially if you have an east facing front door. We have the Grand Duke Jupiter there as well. He doesn't want you, you know, um, he doesn't want you doing things, and you know, um, he doesn't want you to be disturbing different things as well. So the three killings is in the West. We've got a lot of things going on. You need to protect yourself. You really do. Okay. So what's going on with this super moon? We've got this new moon that's a super moon, and it's the Aquarius energy that's coming in with the Spring Festival and the Lunar New Year's Eve. When we've got a new moon, of course, this is when you prepare for new things. Farmers always planted their crops during a new moon. So when you plant the seeds of your future, and this is the time that you take your list out and you write 10 things down, and you say them as you're writing them down like you already manifested them, and you're already enjoying that new car, or you're already investing that $100,000 savings account that you've got, or you are already decorating that $1 million home with the ocean view that you've wanted. Those are the kinds of things that you really want to write down. You can also, say, I am feeling fit, healthy, happy, um, or I am at the end of my health challenges and my test is positive. If you're going through anything like that, this is something that, new moons are really great about. Because it's Aquarius, we are into um, doing things on our own. We are into writing about how to enjoy being independent. We are writing about how you accomplished this all on your own. You didn't need any help or support. You didn't need to ask anyone for directions. You figured it out. Not only did you figure it out, you've gotten results and you've gotten the praise as well. So these are some things that I think are really, really important. And I think it's one of those things that everybody should accomplish some things on their own without relying on anybody or, asking for favors from anybody, those kinds of things. Okay. We also have, if you were born in the year of the ox, the snake, or the rooster, because we've got that romance star in the middle of our homes, we're going to call this particular year something romantic in Feng Shui, and it's called Peach Blossom Luck. And your peach blossom luck brings you romance. So if you bring in a specific animal, you are bound and determined to have that romance back in your life again. So the ox, the year of the snake, and the year of the rooster, you are to display a horse around your home. For anyone who is a rabbit, a sheep, and a boar, you are to display a little mouse or a little rat within your home. And it could be a figurine, it could be a scarf, it could be a plate, it could be a towel, it could be anything. Also, the rat, the dragon, and the monkey display a rooster. I always have a rooster in my kitchen because roosters rule the kitchen, but I always have one behind me, especially when I'm working. Roosters break up gossip and they kind of peck away at anybody that's being competitive with you. And also, they protect you, they protect your back so that you don't have anyone stabbing you in the back, talking behind your back, betraying you. If you are a tiger, a horse, and a dog, you want to display the rabbit. Okay, so we've got some beautiful, beautiful prosperity stars that I want to talk to you about. The number 9. We're moving into period 9. Number 9 is going to be in the north. Now, number 9 star is really transitioning into the luckiest star that we could have. And since it's in the north rules your career. If you have a front door that perhaps is facing north, it is going to be enhancing these wonderful prosperity opportunities with you. And I think that's going to just be absolutely, I think, fabulous, absolutely fabulous for this particular year. And in the north, they like anything, any kind of figurine actually that brings coins into that area. So if you have a water fountain, or if you have a plant, or if you have, even if you have a welcome mat in the north, if your entryway is in the north, and you put Chinese coins or you put quarters or whatever you want underneath that mat, every time you walk through that door, you're stirring up more and more prosperity. So I love that, right? Gotta love that. You've gotta love the number 4 star going to be in the center. Of course, you know, that's a fabulous, star we just talked about. We've got another prosperous star. It's the Victory Star in the Southwest. And this rules the female energy, it rules the matriarchal energy. It is of the earth element. And I love to put um, the wind horse here. And the wind horse is kind of like an animal that, has the hair going back. It's not fighting with anyone or anything like that, but it is raised and poised because it is conquering any kind of, let's say, lawsuits or any type of classes you may be taking, any type of competition that you're working out for. You just are going to capture that particular winning energy. Um, and it's also going to give you the ambition to go after those particular results as well. In the South, we've got the prosperity number 8. So this is the last year for number 8 being such a great and prosperous number. If your front door is in the South, the Chinese believe that, wow, the South is the best direction ever because it rules the color red, and that is their luckiest color. I have red on tonight. But activating this particular South number 8, that prosperity, we are going to be looking for. I like to look for. I like to look for a the peacock feathers, definitely. If you have any kind of birds, like, it's the phoenix that's rising out of the south. But if you have any type of photographs or paintings or um, Oh, anything with birds on it and they're red, you are very, very lucky, like cardinals, okay? If you have a south facing front door, I would definitely get some type of a beautiful door wreath and put some red cardinals on there. That is really going to bring you great luck. And I mean increasing money, prosperity to your door. The heavenly star, number 6. Number 6 says, I like number 6. It really brings you in heaven luck. Heaven luck is it's luck from your ancestors. It's luck from having good karma. It's luck that comes from mentors, comes from benefactors. It really improves your networking. It strengthens alliances with people. It just attracts, the next level up for you, and it really works like you can't believe. I just feel like this particular number 6 star during this last year of this cycle is going to kind of lose its steam probably towards December. So use it now if you can get the rising golden dragon. That would be awesome to put there. I think that would be awesome. Also, a jade wind chime of any kind. That would be very good too. Um, but I think that this particular energy, it really responds to anything that is earth. Uh, Earth element. You can put some crystals there. I like that too. I like any kind of ceramics, or if you've got any pots or anything of terracotta, clay, anything like that. I think that would be really good too. Let's talk about what you're going to be protecting yourself for. We talked about the East. We talked about having the illness star in the East, and putting your Wulu there. I really, or the medicine Buddha is very good for there as well. Oh, the Southeast. Let's talk about that because that actually on the Bagua rules wealth. So the quarrelsome star is there. Um, that's the arguing star. So there's going to be some arguments. If you've got your bedroom in the Southeast, if you are living in the Southeast of the country, if you have a Southeast facing front door, if you are driving into the garage and you're using that particular door every single day, you are attracting that energy. You are, compiling that. You're going through that particular area every day. If your desk is facing the Southeast, you're going to be arguing about money. And, in the worst case scenarios, it'll explode into lawsuits and court cases and things that come up for betrayal also. So in this particular area this year, we're going to put the red prosperity elephant. And I kind of also like anything red. I want to say you can put, how you buy those red apples that, in the fruit, they're fake apples, but, the fake banana, the fake grapes, fake apples. You can take 3 of those red apples and you can put them in a dish and display them in the Southeast. That's going to cure that as well. We've got the 5 yellows. The deadly 5 yellows are going to hit the Northwest. We talked about that. That is the father of the household energy. We need to protect him with that. Now you can do the wind chime. You need to have at least 6 hollow chimes, rods in your wind chime for that. I also like to write out some mantras like Om Mani Padme Hum, that kind of a thing. And I just don't think it's a good time to really put on an addition, in that area, or if that's your music room where you blast the music and a loud banging. It wants to be kept very, very quiet. It does not want to be disturbed. And it's kind of one of those things where, if you can, try not to sleep in that particular area in the Northwest, unless you're really stocking up with Wooloos and a lot of metal in that particular area, a lot of brass, a lot of metal picture frames. You can do a lot of metal lamps, desks, those kinds of things. We've got the robbery star in the Northeast. Ugh, that's tough. Robbery star. I like to put, of course, the blue rhino there, this time matching it with a blue elephant as well. There actually is something that it's called an anti-burglary plaque, and you can put it in the windows, like if that's your store and you've got a northeast entryway to your store. They actually come in little stickers. They come in keychains. They come in a lot of different things that are very inexpensive. It doesn't have to be a big elephant. It can be a very small elephant or a small rhino or a small little anti-burglary little button or plaque or whatever. But when you go on to get these items, you will see them, and they're just as strong and they're just as powerful. They don't have to be huge. We've got what's called the 3 killings. What's the 3 killings? The 3 killings is a particular affliction this particular year, and it's in the west. It's at 90 degrees of the west. And what it does is it's an energy of betrayal. It's an energy of someone, stabbing you in the back. So um, it's one of those things where you don't want to turn your back on the West in this particular year. You want to face the West. Okay. So if you've got your desk facing east right now, you don't want to face east. You don't want to disturb the east at all. Okay. What you want to do is you want to face west. You don't want to put your back to where the sun sets. Okay. This is not the year for that. You can angle it if you'd like. So your shoulders here, so it's not straight on where your back is, but it's going to be very difficult if the east is one of your best directions, because you should not face the east in this particular year, mainly because the Grand Duke Jupiter is there. We can get into all of the 24 mountains on the compass and all the rest of it. So I'm going to go through your floor plan when you call me, and I'm going to come up with some very good protection for you, some very good advice for you. And we are going to have a lot of fun bringing in the year of the water rabbit. So that is it for me for tonight. I know you're going to come back, and I know you're going to like, share, and subscribe this, right? I hope so. It's been so nice of you to come along with me. Happy Feng Shuiing. Have a wonderful start to the new year. And just know that Uranus is also going direct on the first day of the Chinese New Year. So we are really going in direct motion. We're off, we're running, we're hopping actually, because we are all going to be bunnies this year. All righty, everybody. May the angels protect you and guide you. Good night.